Hey, listener, thank you for pressing play. This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, Netflix continues canceling Marvel shows as Luke Cage gets the axe. Are any of these shows safe? The Wonder Woman sequel gets pushed back 7 months. Is this the movie to reboot the DCEU? The Joker movie casts its young Bruce Wayne and Alfred, and Marvel's bringing its hip-hop variant covers to actual vinyl.
Wowie zowie!
Plus, Daredevil Season 3 thoughts, and we discuss a bunch of geek topics as we scroll through our awesome Facebook group to answer questions and comments from the Jock and Nerd Nation. All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Thursday, October 25th, 2018.
Check one. All right. This is really fans out there. Let's give it up. We're talking, we nerded. We're funny, disturbing. We're talking, we nerded. We're spoiler alert. Oh yeah. We're talking, we nerded. We're funny, disturbing. Oh yeah. We're talking, we nerded. We're spoiler alert. We're talking, we nerded.
Oh, yeah. What's up, listener? Thanks for joining us and welcome to the show. Welcome to the Jock and Nerd podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the nerd.
And he's the Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman.
Oh, was he on that show?
What?
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was on.
Sorry, I'm under the weather. I'm sorry.
I seen the second episode.
Oh, well, we will talk about that.
Sorry, I have to apologize in advance if I sound.
Well, we have an interesting situation where Rug Boy is healthy and Anthony is not healthy.
Death's door.
I'm not healthy.
Oh, you're not healthy either?
No.
The devil is calling for me.
You sound sexy though, Anthony. I love the sick voice.
Is this the midnight voice?
It is. It's
Skin after
Jock
dark.
and Nerd at night.
Yeah.
You sound
play like a saxophone in the background.
You want me to play some like Kenny
The
G
theme
behind
music
this?
to Body Heat.
Oh, we'll play Body. You sound like
boys and
Kathleen Turner.
girls, You guys want to hear about the birds and the bees?
You should read a 900
Some
number.
Kenny G, please.
Yeah, we'll put some Kenny G in the background. If you are a new listener, thanks for stumbling onto the show. Here's a couple of things you're going to want to do. Check out our website. The show notes for this episode can be found at jockandnerd.com/245. And it will have all the things we're going to talk about in this show, plus links on how to get in touch and links on where to listen to the show. Occasionally, I probably should mention some of the places you can find the show. I know you're listening, but you may be listening on the website. We are in Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify for the millennials. You may live in Spotify. We live in there too. Bring us along to your workouts between sets of EDM music. And you will not be
Get you pumped up.
disappointed. We'll get you pumped just like this.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
I sound sick then too.
you may have been Anthony.
I think I'm perpetually sick.
No, why? You work out.
Mentally.
You should have continued with the Joe Rogan on it pills. That's the problem.
You know what it is I burn the wick at both ends, as my dad used to say.
Damn.
I work out hard and I party hard.
Okay.
So no time to rest.
I missed my 20s where I did one of those.
Well, I'm 30.
The party. Well, yeah. I did that in my 30s too.
Yeah.
Look, we'll try to make this quick. I don't want to keep Anthony a sickly boy. He needs to get his rest.
A sick houseboy.
Sick Filipino houseboy. We'll get to the news.
The Jock and Nerd podcast.
So if you were with us last week, listener, we broke the news. We talked about how Netflix, just a month after releasing a second improved season of Marvel's Iron Fist, cancels the show. And just a week after that, before I could even post that show,
Same day as Daredevil, right?
Same day Daredevil Season 3 launches, Netflix cancels Luke Cage.
Oh, shit.
Sweet Christmas.
What the shit is going on?
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
I got an article from Deadline that has a lot of interesting details. I'll post it in the show notes. Here's the quick rundown. They cite creative differences. Apparently, showrunner Chio Hodari Coker had already formed a writer's room, and they've been working on this season 3 scripts for 6 months. There was even detailed drafts of the first half of the 10-episode season delivered to Marvel and Netflix. Apparently, some of the execs had issues with the more developed scripts. Then they wanted to extend it from 10 to 13 episodes. And then all the writers were like, well, wait a minute, this fucks up everything we were trying to do. In this article, it says it escalated.
They wanted to go from 13 to 10.
Which makes sense. 13 to 10. Yeah, they wanted to go down like the other ones. Yeah, it would be better.
Well, who wanted to go down from 13 to 10?
Netflix did.
Okay, because also keep in mind, because I watched a video about Iron Fist and how it went down to 10 episodes.
Yes.
If they go down to 10 episodes,
yes,
Netflix doesn't have to pay Marvel as much either.
Oh, so this is interesting.
There's a money motivation.
Okay, cost is important because it does mention that in this article. So all this behind the scenes turmoil of trying to rejigger this show that they already had plans for, they were like, we got to cancel it. It's the only thing we can do. Anthony, what you said is interesting because in this article, it notes these Marvel shows for Netflix are costly to make. In fact, in 2013, Netflix paid a shit ton of money for something they don't technically own. Think about that. That's a little weird.
They paid a shit ton of money for shows sight unseen.
Sight unseen shit IP that they don't own. And let's not forget, the first season of Luke Cage crashed the fucking internet. Remember that?
Right.
There was huge buzz. But has the buzz carried through? What's going on? What do you guys think? Do you guys buy what's in this article? I got way more thoughts on this.
I don't know. I'm really confused. Anthony, what do you think?
So I thought I knew what the fuck was going on when Iron Fist was dropped. I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Luke Cage, I was like, they have an audience that won't get dropped. And then it gets dropped. So I'm like, okay, I don't know shit. There's so many ways. I've read and watched a ton of videos on this because it just kind of intrigues me that this is all happening right now.
Yeah.
There's the impending Disney Play thing, which I'll put in quotes because I don't know what they're going to call it.
The Disney streaming
although
service.
there's rumors that the Disney Play stuff won't have anything rated R on it.
Yes.
So then that might take this out.
Yep.
There's the play that these things are just really expensive and Netflix is wanting to reduce these to 10 episodes and Marvel's like, we want our money.
Right.
We want 13 and there's that.
Yep.
There's also maybe the play that these shows are just getting terrible ratings now and Netflix is like, this is costing us way too much.
Yep.
But I don't know. There's a number of things going on. It's clear to me Marvel was a surprise because Iron Fist and Netflix or Luke Cage both ended with
the
teasers
stories
for the
weren't
next
done,
season. Yeah,
and
the stories aren't done.
And they were actually really interesting cliffhangers that I wanted resolutions
that's really disturbing. They had really big unresolved issues in both shows.
Yeah.
So like Luke Cage left off with him being the bad guy.
Yep.
And then Iron Fist passed the fist on to Colleen. So there was great places for the shows to go. But the reason I think that these things got canceled was I think it's something to do with the Miller World coming to Netflix.
That is also a key
Netflix
in this.
owns.
Yes, there's so many variables. Yes.
I think that maybe they didn't. These shows are on the downturn.
Yes.
And I think that they would probably cancel Jessica Jones and Daredevil too, but they already made them.
Yeah.
The third season.
Yes.
So the third season of Daredevil's already made, and I think they're working on the third season of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, they're working on that, and they've already finished Punisher season 2.
So I think Punisher season 2 is going to come out. They got to finish season 3 of Jessica Jones.
I think they're all on the chopping block.
Yes,
I think Netflix is going to just completely wipe out Marvel because they know that Marvel is not going to give them any more characters.
Yep.
Nope. Yep.
So they can't expand because I think that what Netflix wanted to do is like keep launching new characters and hoping one's going to be a breakaway hit. So they tried with Jessica Jones. Yep. They tried with Iron Fist, and Iron Fist was a big disappointment. Luke Cage was tepid. Like people liked it, but not enough to like really like get behind it. And so I think they're going to let go of all the Marvel stuff.
I think you're absolutely correct because let's reiterate, we said last episode, this is Netflix's decision to cancel or keep these shows with the shows they have. Think about the relationship with Disney for one thing. They go, Netflix, Disney go from Disney being their content provider to now being their fucking competitor. Right? And they're pulling all their shit over. David Malofsky from A Place to Hang Your Cape wrote a really good article. I'll put it in the show notes. Why Netflix canceled Luke Cage and Iron Fist. He's got all these points in there, but I want to dig in deeper to a couple of these. His first point is buzz and interest in the shows has dropped. We've all mentioned that. Business Insider has this really interesting article that says basically what you just said, Ruggs. All the shows are on the chopping block. Data from Crimson Hexagon provided to Business Insider shows that social media buzz for Netflix's Marvel shows has dropped dramatically over time. What this company did, because Netflix doesn't give out its numbers, only probably one fucking guy, maybe two people at Netflix knows the numbers to these things. But what they used as a metric was social media engagement and tweets. For example, this one's interesting. September 2016, when Luke Cage first season premiered, there were over 300,000 Twitter and Instagram posts regarding it. Season 2, 50,000 posts. And that trend continues to all the shows, Daredevil having the least drop-offs, but still dropping off in interest and buzz.
Right.
And
I have an anecdotal thing about Daredevil.
Yeah.
Even Daredevil. I put out like a snap that I was watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
And again, the purely anecdotal, this doesn't mean any representation of the population, but someone responds to me and goes, "You still watch that show?" And I was, I had to think about it, and I was like, wow, there really isn't the hype that there was when these shows first came out.
Just 3 years later.
Understand that Netflix then and Netflix now is two different companies. They needed Marvel to prop them up.
Yep.
And then Stranger Things hit, right?
Yep.
As soon as they had a bona fide pop culture hit,
they don't need that. They don't need those guys coming in anymore.
They started locking in on IP.
Yeah.
And they have things now. They have a good little few shows that they're going back to and kind of developing. So they can lose the baggage that Marvel brings. And not only that, but they signed a bunch of deals with other IP that they're waiting to get on there.
The Miller World is a big thing. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But they clearly are like, these numbers are not worth the cost of customer acquisition.
I also think it's very possible. I wouldn't be surprised if everything gets canceled.
Right.
I also think
it's probably going to happen.
I was reading some of this stuff, and no, Marvel Netflix can't add any more characters. So there's that. There's also the fact that if they want to keep doing these shows, they can just keep doing these shows, and Disney can't take them back.
No, they can't. So
like, for instance, they could just roll with Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones for a while.
They could even do Heroes for Hire. Those are still their characters. Right. They put them together. You put Daughters of the Dragon cameos. But I mean, I agree with everything you guys say. Every show, even Daredevil season 3, it's getting rave reviews. It's going to be on the chopping block.
I read that Heroes for Hire, although possible, is unlikely because of the amount of money that would cost. Because you'd have to pay both those guys the same rate. It's
like 2 leads,
and you'd have to guarantee that you would get more people watching because it is Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, and
the money stays in Netflix if they do their own shows.
Right.
That's true.
So there's so many angles of this, and I'm curious to see what happens with going forward with these shows, because, like I said, it was clear that these weren't supposed to end at this time.
I think Netflix has got to be a little bit scared of what Disney is working on, So, and they also have to position themselves for this. Their contract ends in 2018. They're going to lose all the movies, the Star Wars, the Marvel movies, the Disney shit that's bringing them viewers right now.
Although Disney potentially not going rated R is also interesting. So then, maybe the home still stays for Netflix for them and this stuff.
How dark will they get with it? Yeah, that's a good point. Would they want to put this kind of dark shit on?
Yeah, well, I think that Disney's got to rethink this whole no R thing, because some of this stuff needs to be, at least 10 o'clock level TV. Because think about this, because just regular cable is going adult.
Yeah.
Like you watch stuff on AMC, it's adult.
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Yeah. So what are they trying to do here? They're not really getting
trying to protect
what's
their
going
brand,
on.
But how do you separate it and differentiate? Even look at fucking Titans. This is how super fucking violent it is. No restrictions should be no restrictions, and don't hold back.
I read that there's a guy or two at Disney that's running it that thinks if you can't, like, Disney has a brand, and
they're going to kill their brand,
with R-rated stuff, it kills the Disney brand. And
so we can expect a lot of watered down shit then?
I don't know. Or maybe it doesn't be called Disney. Who knows?
Daredevil is there's no tits in Daredevil. Was there ever tits?
No, they never crossed the nudity.
But there's violence and really tough, theological themes, in there that I'm sure they don't want to.
Lots of very rough violence and yet very tough, very immature themes in terms of ideas and rape and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they ever show you boobs?
I don't think so. Not on any of them, no.
They've never shown boobs. They've done sex.
I think you've seen side boob of maybe Claire Temple and Jessica Jones, maybe. That's it.
You've seen like the act of sex, not penetration.
I mean, remember that great scene with between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and they destroy the bed? Yeah, that was great. Anyways, listener, let us know what you think is going on at Netflix and what you think all this means. Visit our website contact page, jockandnerd.com/contact for all the ways to get in touch, including...
Where are you guys at on Daredevil?
Yeah, let us know where you're at on Daredevil.
No, I'm saying you guys.
I got 3 episodes left of season 3.
I think I'm in the same spot. I'm not 100% sure.
All right.
I think
I've finished.
Okay, we'll get into that a little bit later.
You can catch my instant reaction on
It's
Patreon.
on Patreon right now. We'll give some initial thoughts after the break.
Oh, okay.
But join our Facebook group, Jock and Nerd Nation. Shout out to the nation. It's exclusive. It's closed. It's just for our listeners. We hang out there. Ruck Boy hangs out there. All of our awesome listeners hang out there. I want to welcome 2 new listeners joining the group this week, Trenton Smith and Brett Eddington. Welcome. Nerd. Keep adding tons of things.
To the China Club.
Welcome.
A China Chang Chang, a Chicha Chang.
So Brett Addington answered the questions, Anthony, and I actually was able to screenshot it. I put it in our show notes.
I saw that.
His favorite host is Rug Boy.
Wowie zowie.
I think
nice.
I think we're all even. Or who has the most? I don't know because I never checked the answers.
Huntsville, Alabama.
Shout out Huntsville.
Shout out to Huntsville,
Thanks
Alabama.
Thanks for finding the show and finding
Alabama.
the group.
Brett, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And if it's neither, that's fine. But is it Roll Tide or War Eagle? That's all I got.
What the fuck does that mean?
Yeah.
Brett will know.
Only people in Alabama.
Shit.
Oh, it's some fucking jock.
Bro, do you even
War
podcast?
Eagle, Roll Tide, or is it neither because you're such a nerd? That
War
doesn't matter.
Eagle or Roll Tide.
I know nothing about
or
Alabama.
Neither. Okay,
I guess it would actually be War Eagle, comma, Roll Tide,
comma,
neither. Or neither.
Brett, leave
or
it.
Actually, I don't think you don't need to put a comma in front of or anymore. They took that out.
Fucking stupid grammar.
I know. Stupid.
Brett, leave your answer at the Facebook group. The other thing you'll see at the Facebook group, Brett and Trenton and everyone, is we are asking, thanks to Seth Morgan, had this great idea, for people to send in roast audio for episode 250.
Roasting us.
Roasting us. You can roast yourself. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, you need to send in audio of a pot roast being cooked.
And I want to smell it.
Yeah, and we just want to hear what it sounds like.
Just record.
Someone's going to do that.
A good 45 minutes of just pot roast.
Send us audio of your next pig roast.
That oven just like on fire.
I guarantee you David Zeke is doing that right now.
All you got to do, visit the website. There's a big red tab. Use the speak pipe. You got 90 seconds to roast us, and you got about 4 or 5 weeks from the posting of the show. We will be hitting 250.
Speaking of pot roast, I am so warm right now. I feel
you're
like I'm
roasting
cooking,
like a little pig.
I'm cooking a pot roast in my pants as we speak.
All right, wipe out. Are you sure it's not because you're sick? Is that why?
That's exactly why, you fucking idiot.
All right.
When you got fever?
I got something.
I got a fever. Yeah. There's only one cure. It's more cowbell.
More cowbell.
Anthony, get a towel girl over there to towel you off.
I'm chafing.
You need some big,
I need some Gold Bond.
Gold Bond really works.
You gotta watch out with that Gold Bond.
Gold Bond.
It makes things worse.
Oh, when you do a Gold Bond straight up the fucking asshole.
Yeah. Oh, is that nice?
That is a shot.
Tingles.
That is a shot of adrenaline.
That'll wake
there.
you up.
It's tingly.
When your ass is a little chafed and you just shoot that powder up the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That cool hot sensation. Oh my God. On your sphinx.
Icy hot on the asshole. I never thought about it.
It's so fucking crazy.
Ruggs, do you like icy hot on your slack hole?
No.
Okie dokie.
I've done it.
Old guy at work told me about that and I tried it. I was like,
You
that's
tried
crazy.
it?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
All right. Now I can't get that image out of my head. Moving on.
My balls look old enough without powder on them.
My balls was hot.
They put Gold Bond in the balls, and the balls don't get hot anymore.
My balls are dusty without that.
I can't.
It's quite hard. I don't think you can't really shoot up the ass because you need someone holding the cheeks apart.
Oh, you need another person to do this.
Yeah, and I didn't want to get another person
I'm so
involved.
distracted now.
Yeah.
From that visual image.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Wonder Woman. I don't know. What the fuck just happened?
Let's talk about some women.
Let's talk about some women. Hey, more movies getting pushed back, people.
She needs to smile more in her trailer.
No, she doesn't.
Anthony, stop it.
We're going to chase away our 3 female listeners.
They're all going to get mad at you.
We have 3. I want to keep them.
They're not smiling.
Wonder Woman, the Wonder Woman sequel, Wonder Woman 1984, was going to come out November 1st, 2019. It has been pushed back 7 months to June 5th, 2020.
Oh, shit.
So from a late in the year holiday movie to a summer blockbuster holiday date. Interesting. Now, Gal Gadot announced that something about we are moving back to our home, which is the summer where it belongs. So
why is that their home?
I don't know.
Wonder Woman came out in like November last time.
Listen, she's spinning it, okay?
She's trying to spin it.
Come on.
First of all, before I get into this next rumor, what do you guys think this means?
Let me clarify what that.
Yeah.
You go ahead with what you think it means. But I just want to see when the first Wonder Woman came out.
Okay.
It was in. Oh, okay. It was May. Never mind.
Oh, it was in May. So it was early summer release, a month after that.
It was June. All right, fine.
Now,
I stand corrected.
So look, that's crazy. You know, I feel like they want a summer. It's going to do better in the summer.
Should.
Right? But there's a rumor brought to us by one Grace Randolph. You guys remember the Grace Randolph? She's dubious. Grace Randolph is that YouTuber, the blonde YouTuber girl who's we've talked about a couple of times.
She's got interesting opinion. She seems to like she's like a little bit more aggressive in some things because she's a chick and she doesn't have to worry about backlash as much.
Yeah. So
I don't know if is that the most chauvinistic thing to say. I think I just said it.
Yeah, probably.
But like, if a guy says some of the things she says, they'll get more flack. So
she was the one who did the thing about Daredevil should be PG-13 for the 10-year-old, and then we talked about. I forgot what the last thing was.
Has she ever said anything that's come true?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Debatable.
It's debatable.
So
are we talking about Topher Grace?
Not Topher Grace. No. Topher Grace Randolph. Grace Randolph, she has sources saying that it's pushback for major reshoots because it's rumored that this is the movie that's going to reboot the DCEU.
Oh, shit.
She says her sources are telling her the real reason it was pushed back is to incorporate a Flashpoint style storyline, which would change the DCEU timeline. Meaning that Wonder Woman didn't want to lose Steve Trevor a second time. She goes back and saves him somehow, which alters the timeline, reboots the DCU. Warner Brothers doesn't have to wait for the Flashpoint movie to come out. They're not even doing Flashpoint in The Flash. They've dropped that. It's going to be like a lighthearted movie. So this will be how they'll be able to recast all their actors. She's saying her sources tell her Gal Gadot will stay, Margot Robbie will stay as Harley Quinn, Zachary Levi will stick around as Shazam. But this will enable them to recast Superman, Batman, and anybody else that they want to. And I was like, holy shit, that's fucking interesting right there.
I don't know if that's true, though.
Is that what they're doing?
That's a real big speculation right there.
That's a big speculation because the Shazam movie hasn't even come out. And if we've learned anything about the DCEU is that they react to everything right when it comes out.
Well, we have...
So how are they that confident in Zachary
in this article, they said if Aquaman tanks, they will fucking replace Momoa. No problem with this.
You know what how they should reboot it?
Make a good movie?
No. They reboot it.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman ends up in Haddonfield, Illinois.
Okay.
And it's now Halloween Wonder Woman. And Michael Myers.
Oh, shit.
Takes on Gal Gadot because Gal Gadot is the long-lost daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes.
I like
and
this.
Is now Wonder Woman's lasso versus Michael Myers' knife.
Can we bring in Freddy Krueger somehow? I love Freddy Krueger, too.
We can bring in whatever you want because now it's later. And then when they
dream, Freddy Krueger comes in and chases all of them.
Right. And when they dream, then the question comes. And then I'm just going, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking. Halloween came up in my head.
It doesn't sound any crazier than the ideas Warner Brothers has had.
Yeah, it's pretty much what Warner Brothers is doing. Yeah, they're just like fucking throwing darts at fucking comic books
Throw all
and movies.
This shit at the wall. Hollow Wonder Woman.
I want to say this for the drop.
Yeah.
That's a big speculation right there. That's a big fuck up right there.
I'll add that.
Like, now you can isolate that.
I'll add the speculation because that is a big... Hollow Woman, 1984.
1984.
So, yeah.
That's Anthony's big speculation.
You know what's taking Wonder Woman's spot? The Terminator movie.
I saw that.
It moves up a few weeks, November 1st, and it will open up against this Charlie's Angels reboot.
That no one cares
about. No one cares about.
Is Mick G doing that one too?
No, you know who's in this fucking reboot? I will tell you right now. There's really nothing out about this reboot, so I don't know. It's directed by Elizabeth Banks, first of all, which is an interesting pick. Naomi Scott, Kristen Stewart, Elizabeth Banks, Patrick Stewart is going to be one of the Bosleys. Jimon Hunsu is also listed as Bosley, and Elizabeth Banks is also listed as Bosley.
Wait a minute. It's Naomi Scott.
Naomi Scott.
That's the girl that we were talking about last week from Aladdin, right?
Oh, yeah. That was her. That's the Aladdin girl.
Okay.
Kristen Stewart.
Okay, so we have Frowny Girl.
Who can be good in certain things, but she's
and then
very
who
boring.
else?
Then I got Patrick Stewart, Jimon Hunsu. I don't think they've cast any other angels yet.
There's got to be one more?
I don't know. No, that's a guy. I don't know.
They're probably going to cast someone of color.
I don't think they're done casting this movie. But really,
with some flavor.
Who gives a
ethnic,
shit?
Someone that is ethnic.
That's not
quote unquote, that doesn't exist.
That's everybody's ethnic, Anthony. Everybody's ethnic, technically. Come on now.
No, really, that's true. Everyone is ethnic.
So
unless you're white, you're not ethnic.
If you're white, you come from outer space.
You're an alien?
Yeah.
We got space germs.
Yes.
Keeping with the DCEU, look, if they're going to reboot all this Joker movie is probably going to be a big part of this DCEU reboot, starting whatever. But this movie is doing some weird things, which I don't understand.
It's got young Bruce Wayne.
Yes, they've added young Bruce Wayne, and they cast Alfred Pennyworth. Dante Pereira Olsen as a young Bruce Wayne. Alfred Pennyworth at Douglas Hodge playing Alfred Pennyworth. We already know.
How young are we talking
That's
here?
the question. Is this another fucking Jeff Napier 1989 fucking fucked up timeline thing where the Joker is 40 years older than Bruce Wayne?
That's not my preference for my Joker.
What the fuck is this?
I prefer Joker to be around the same age.
So Thomas Wayne, there's a Thomas Wayne who's running for mayor in this movie. So Thomas Wayne is still alive. Bruce, so this kid looks like he's about, 8 to 10 years old. Maybe he could play younger. Hopefully it's just a cameo and they're not like a big part of this. Maybe you just see him for a second because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like Joker. I don't like Joker being like I never liked it in Gotham where they're tied in this much.
This has become another Elseworlds Joker.
It's not. There's no mystery to it.
Yeah.
You're killing the fucking characters, people.
I was hoping this movie wouldn't even have any Batman and it would be just its own thing. Exploring this guy's thing. It should be a one-off. Like, I don't think Joaquin Phoenix has signed on for 3 movies. So that's weird. Also, did you see there was a set video of apparently the 1966 Batmobile spotted on set of the Joker movie? What the fuck is going on here?
Was it on set or just happened to be?
It's possible it could have been just driving by also. But everyone's like, reportedly, this is the Batmobile.
Yeah, I am seeing that. That's that clip. I mean, it is on a truck. I don't know what the fuck it's doing there.
If it was parked there on the set, it'd be different.
If it was near the set at all, though, it's weird. Why is that?
Maybe they just brought it there for Joaquin Phoenix to hang out in as a little treat.
Maybe.
Like,
hey, try this out. Taking pictures. At Comic-Cons, you have to pay like $50 to get a photo with that fucking car.
No, you don't. I just do it. Just take the picture.
We at Chicago, where the last one we went to, Wizard World, it was like $20. Like the car, with one of the cars.
To take an official picture.
Yeah,
you just walk up to it with a camera and be like, "Fuck you, asshole!"
And then run, take a picture, run. Okay, speaking of Elseworlds and Gotham rugs that you just said, have you seen this fucking picture of Shane West playing their version of Bane?
I saw that
very
too.
perplexing. It looks like Darth Vader meets Mad Max. I don't understand what all that shit is.
Who is playing Bane?
This guy's name is Shane West. He's not very big, and he's got like shoulder pads and it looks like machinery in front, and he's got a face mask.
Is that like a wrestler, Shane West?
Is it a wrestler? He's got a very slim waist, but I don't. Why do they? I missed the mask. They gave him the mask in that shitty Batman movie.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, this looks horrible. There's apparently going to be like a time jump in season 5, and
this is lame.
It's very bad. It's very, very bad. And I'm like, how, this Bane. The whole show is, it's you either hate to love it or you love to hate it. I've been on both sides. I've gone through that whole cycle.
Fuck that show.
I can't wait till it comes back.
That Bane design is Yeah, I don't know about that.
Bane will be introduced as Eduardo Dorrance, a former army friend of Jim Gordon's, who is gradually transformed into the supervillain.
He is of Hispanic descent in the comics.
Oh, that's true.
He was Cuban.
Again, we always talk about Secret Six. I wish someone would write a Bane like the fucking Secret Six Bane. He's so great.
I don't understand, especially this show, why they want to just throw the fucking Bane mask.
I put the mask on him, and they did it in fucking a Schumacher movie. I want to see
his Nacho Libre.
They did it in Nacho. Put a luchador mask and just dye it black and white.
That's what it is.
I would love to see the mask.
That's what Bane's mask is.
Yeah, oh, it is.
He does steal a lucha.
Yeah, it is mask. The luchador, Lucha Libre. Luchadores.
He is like what's the name of the bad guy in Nacho Libre?
I don't even remember that movie.
Something with gold. I don't remember.
Do you like gold?
Gold member?
Gold member. Bong and a Blintz?
No, it was like Xerxes or something. I don't remember.
Pipe and a crepe?
He's got like some kind of like. Now I gotta look it up.
All right, last thing in the news while Ruggs looks that up. You know, I love hip hop. I love comics. I always love when they combine, which is like why I'm really sad about Luke Cage, because they did that pretty well, hip hop and comics. Marvel released a series of comic book covers inspired by classic hip hop albums last year. There's a whole thing. Well, guess what? Now they've made a deal with Universal Music to re-release these classic albums with the Marvel artwork.
Oh, shit.
And their limited run, 3,000 of these will be made, and some of them have lenticular designs. And
I have lenticulars.
I get lenticular. There's medicine for that, Ruggs.
Tell me the lenticulars about these designs.
If you click this link, there's a tweet.
Do I get the lensations when I click the link?
You will get the lensations.
I was about to say the same thing.
Lenny will enjoy these lenticular designs. You know what lenticular is, Anthony?
I know. I don't. Give me the particulars on the lenticular.
Was like the X-rated lensations.
Lenticular is X-rated.
Yeah.
Let me give you the particulars on this lenticular.
I thought lenticular
These jokes
was
are for like two people.
Yeah. The lenticular was Lenny's particular.
Lenny Romero, you better appreciate this, and John Bellotti Jr. No, it's that thing where it's kind of 3D and you move it back and forth and you see like depth in the thing. You know, remember like they did it with the covers. DC did it with
a hologram.
It's like the Spot-It stuff.
It's kind of like a hologram.
Oh, okay.
If you click this link from complex.com, there's a little tweet they sent out where they show you the movement. Here's the albums they're doing. These are great albums. 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, which has the Iron Man Invincible homage perfectly done with Tony Stark. LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out, which is a fucking great album. So many great songs on that album. This one is Punisher, and he's got the same pose. And then the Jizza's Liquid Swords is Contest of Champions, which the Jizza album was already a comic book illustration and lends itself well. I'll have images to all these in the show notes so you can take a look. But if you have, first of all, you have to have a record player. And if you are a collector of vinyl, I know there's still some out there. It's not dead. Vinyl's not dead, right, guys?
No, people still got it.
Yeah, vinyl's still in.
They sell it at stores.
Vinyl's like coming. People collect vinyl now.
So you got to scratch on something. You got to scratch that record back.
You can buy them at Walmart's.
They got vinyl at the Walmarts?
Classic, the cool guys buy like vinyl records and like have a fucking vinyl player.
You mean?
Yeah, in Brooklyn they all have a little like
every guy in Brooklyn has a fucking.
All have a collection of vinyl.
Yeah,
and then they DJ at underground clubs at night.
No, they don't DJ.
No,
they just fucking play their vinyl and have people come over and drink like fucking PBR. I don't know.
I love these though, man. If I had,
it's like he was just there.
How do you bet? If I had a record player, I'd be all over this shit. But I don't. So if you do, check it out.
By the way, it was Ramses. That was the bad guy from Nacho Libre.
Oh, from now I forgot what the question was.
Lucha Libre. It was Lucha Libre, the bad guy.
Ramses. That's like Greek god, Egyptian god.
I was gonna. Yeah, isn't that a bad person?
What number, Ramses? First, second, third. Oh, who cares? We're going to take a break, play some promos.
He's the first Ramses, I think.
And we'll be back with more geekiness right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher.
Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
Nick, do you love superheroes?
Heck yeah.
Do you love movies with superheroes?
Heck yeah.
Do you love books that have nothing to do with superheroes but ask big social questions or feature other forms of excitement and adventure like a demon-fighting scarecrow?
Heck yeah.
Nick, do you just love comics?
Heck yeah, I love comics.
If you're like Nick, then check out the Heck Yeah Comics podcast, a show hosted by us.
Each week, David and I discuss the latest news and review the newest comic books, movies, and shows.
Find us at heckyeahcomics.com or wherever you get podcasts.
Hurry before MODOK finds you!
Doc and
Listener, if you've been enjoying the show and you want more show, well, let me tell you, there's what you got to do. There's only one place to go. Join our fan club at jockandnerd.com/Patreon. You would join all of our awesome supporters. I thank you all for your continued support, and you're going to get access to bonus content. Lots of stuff up on the feed. We'll get to that in a second, but I got to say thank you. I got this email just today before the show. Listener and patron John Campbell went from the...
Detective John Campbell?
I'm John Campbell. I'm a detective. It's not a tumor. Detective John Campbell. He went from...
Which movie was that?
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Put that cookie down. Detective John Campbell went from the $5 Rug Boy approved tier.
Rug Boy approved.
He increased it just now to the You Pick It tier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Anthony. You know what that means. We got another movie to deliver once he sends us his pick.
Hey, John Campbell. It'll take at least a year and a half, but we'll
get there. Choose wisely, John Campbell. No rush. We
choose Kindergarten Cop.
You could choose Kindergarten Cop.
It'll be great because we'll be mentioning you the whole time.
You would hear your name over and over again. I would pull up the Schwarzenegger soundboard.
That'd be a very narcissistic pick.
That would be, hey, it's your pick, buddy. Choose wisely.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
I'm a cop. You get one pick. Put that cookie down.
One pick, everyone knows the rules.
And you pick whatever you want. So, for example, you could listen to, there's a whole bonus episode of us discussing the musical The Greatest Showman.
Oh, shit.
Thanks to Matthew Lawrence. That's right now on the Patreon. If you sign up, you can hear that. This week, Anthony, as you've put up a lot of bonus content. It's fucking awesome. We get a new episode of Jock Talk and your Daredevil instant reaction comment.
I got two comments.
Yeah.
Number one, I apologize to Chaz Hubbard. So we recorded that Jock Talk for about 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Chaz goes, "Hey, man, are you recording?" I look up. Nope.
I
had to redo that entire thing. So
This is going great.
Imran did that once.
If the enthusiasm
I've done that a bunch of times.
isn't there, it's because we literally had to repeat everything we said. It made us more efficient, but it wasn't the first time we were talking
Anthony,
about
it. It wasn't as fresh.
No.
All this means is you're becoming a true podcaster.
Yeah,
always
that sucked.
Press record is
that really
the
sucked.
number one rule in podcasting. Really, there's not much more else. There are no rules in podcasting except for that one. You got to press record. But also your Daredevil instant reaction.
Daredevil, yeah, that one I just recorded.
Damn, you watched that whole thing really quickly, man. You beat us all to it.
0 to 100 really quick. Yeah, I recorded that. My thoughts aren't like fully formed on that either.
Is it spoilery for people who maybe have not seen the full thing?
I don't think it's that
Like us.
spoilery.
Okay.
I didn't. If there's some.
It is.
There's a little bit. Did you listen to it?
No.
I
don't know.
I just know you. You think that you're not spoiling shit, but
I would advise to just listen to it after.
Okay, I didn't listen to it. I just put it up, so that's awesome. And
can't help it.
Next week we should have our review. I think Ruggs and I
could have almost done it tonight.
We could have almost done it,
we
but
would have had our shit together.
No, dude, this has been a crazy week. It got away from me. It was not going to happen, so that's fine.
I mean, God made me sick so I could watch Daredevil.
That's the only way he got to watch all of it, is he got to stay home and fucking binge watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, go watch Scott Pilgrim now.
Yeah, we got to do that. And Starship Troopers.
It's on Netflix.
Join the fan club, jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Okay, for the second half of the show, since we didn't all get to Daredevil, I thought all we would do is take a scroll down the Jock and Nerd Nation in a segment I'm calling From the Nation.
Jock and Nerd.
We'll just pull some links from here to there. But before we do that, I want to give some initial thoughts on Daredevil Season 3 real quick,
Sure.
based on what we are.
You guys can start.
Ruggs, go first.
I feel like, okay, it's Daredevil.
It is.
It's good. It's, it's solid. It's, I'm like, at the end of each episode, I'm like, oh, fuck, I want to watch one more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's working. That whole thing's working.
Yeah.
Am I dazzled by what's on screen? Action wise, not really. I think I don't know. I feel like some things are weird with what's going on, but overall, I think it's pretty direct and compelling. I'll say that.
I had the same thoughts. It is, last week I was thinking about how you were like, I'm waiting for like a full out superhero show. This show, I'm like, is this the superhero show? It's a fucking compelling crime drama. That's for sure. And the characters are amazing. I love seeing Fisk back. What they did with Bullseye is really amazing. The fight scenes, the one in episode 4 is fucking great. And there's a great one in 6. So it's really good. And I'm excited to see where it finishes.
Yeah, but season 2 was way better.
You think so already, huh? Not even having finished season 3. Interesting.
Season 2, when he's in season 1's great too.
Season 1 is still phenomenal.
Season 2, I think season 2, as far as for action, I think it's the best.
Well, they had it in 3 arcs also, so I think that kind of helped them. And, the Punisher story was great, and the Elektra storyline was great, and then the Hand, and there were ninjas. It was a lot more comic booky and superhero, But
there's a lot more Daredevil doing some kick-ass shit and, like, doing cool stuff.
I do love, like, the themes of, religion and trying to find yourself that they deal with, and just the manipulation that Wilson Fisk does is a really, I think that's really well written.
Well, that's the best part of the show.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil
the fact that he's this mastermind.
Oh my God, he's just everywhere, and there's nowhere to turn without him looming. Anthony, give us spoiler-free thoughts after finishing it, and then next week we'll spoil the whole thing.
I was compelled throughout the entire season. I think any show that makes me want to watch another episode does a good job. And this show, it wasn't like a chore. I was on the same boat. In fact, when I got sick, I was like, yes.
Yeah, you were excited.
I can watch Daredevil all day.
Yeah.
And finish this as quickly as I wanted to. So it was one of those shows where I was done and I was like, oh man, now what? I have nothing else to watch. Even though there's plenty to watch. All the characters, I enjoyed the fight scenes. All the characters, for me, were fun to hang around and be with. Nadeem, Karen Page,
Nadeem. Yeah, and they all have pretty great kind of realizations
Foggy,
and storylines.
Kingpin. My favorite is Bullseye. I
think he's going to be a lot of people's favorite.
That's not a spoiler either. They did a trailer where they kind of highlighted him. So he's in it. Sorry if that makes you mad that I spoiled that, but it's not a spoiler. But overall, I mean, it's a show that's kept me engaged. It's definitely one of those shows, though, that like is all about punching you in the face.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is every time you like get up to like for air, the show punches you right back in the face.
There are times when
it's a very
it's
downtrodden show. I'm not saying intense. I'm talking about like the show is very stacked against the heroes throughout the entire show. Like
they can't win.
They never win.
Yeah.
So it's if you can handle a majority of the show being...
You never get a real win. You just kind of get a break.
Yeah.
You never get that, like, triumph moment. Like, even in, like, for instance, like, Infinity War, you get that triumph moment of, like, Thor coming in for the rescue.
Yeah.
You don't really get that ever.
They're always digging themselves out of a hole.
Even when they win, it's like, but they lost.
And it's like the times where they had this one thing, this one lead, and that gets fucked up. And I'm like, fuck, now what are you going to do?
Everything always gets fucked up. So if you can handle that, I think it's a good show, and I'll have more thoughts on next week.
The intensity comes from, I'm just thinking, again, the episode 4 fight scene, I went and rewatched that. That fucking 10-minute one-shot fight scene is so intense. I wish it was at the end of the episode, because then there's still more story afterwards, and I'm like, whoa, I gotta pause this and breathe for a second. All right, from the nation, here's the segment. Let's start out with Jess Rivera, who shared a link and had a comment. He writes, for those who have read a lot of Millar's work, what are you excited / hoping for with the Netflix deal? And he has a link to an article, 7 Mark Millar comics that will make amazing TV shows or movies from NME.com. Now, Netflix bought all of Mark Millar's shit, and I believe they're currently developing some TV shows, some movies, even a comic book that they're helping to direct. Ruggs, which of these are you familiar with? And
I
which
think
of
I've
these...
read everything that Mark Miller ever wrote.
So highlight a couple of these that you think would make good TV shows. Tell us what it's about.
So many. But I would say for me, the biggest ones would be obviously everybody knows Kick-Ass. I don't think they're going to do anything with Kick-Ass.
Well, there's a Hit Girl spinoff.
Yeah, they might
do a Hit Girl show.
They might do a Hit Girl thing, so that's
cool.
an option.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So that's the most marquee value. Wanted is also that movie that with James McAvoy that is nothing
Angelina
like the comic.
Jolie, yeah.
So they could do the comic book version.
All I know about that movie is you can fucking curve a bullet.
You can bend bullets around.
It has
shit.
nothing to do with the comic. That movie is like in name only. They took some of the idea of a kid being a loser and in him really being.
That had some cool action scenes in that movie.
The only thing that there is in common is that there's a hot girl who tells this guy that he is the son of some major assassin and that he inherits some kind of.
And isn't there like a society of assassins or something?
Well, kind of, but not the same way. So it's in name only. It's like really like not anything like Wanted. So they could take another stab at that because that's interesting. Yeah. You got Kingsman, which is in the movies.
Yeah.
Then the ones that have not been done that no one knows about is Superior, which is like a Shazam.
Okay.
Which is like a kid who turns into a superhero.
Yeah.
And there's some like sinister shit going on with that. It's not like a happy-go-lucky thing. It's very sinister. There is also Huck, who's like this.
I heard that's really good. What is that?
It's like this. He's basically like it's Clark Kent, Superman. He's like a guy who's basically Superman that like he never becomes a superhero per se, but he just helps people.
And he doesn't want to like go public with it.
Yeah, he's not. He's like a very humble dude. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, so. There's that. There's Jupiter's Legacy, which is like his version of like the Justice League and Watchmen.
I've read that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's like his whole thing is like he took like the Justice League kind of characters and like made like a Watchmen type story about them being real characters.
And then they have children and the legacy that they leave for their children.
Yeah.
Also
and
have powers.
Their children end up being like, so they do like the first, it's interesting because they do like Jupiter's Circle. Yeah. Which is like the Justice League.
Right.
And then they do Jupiter's Legacy, which is their kids. And their kids are all spoiled sons of like superheroes.
Yeah.
And they're like all into social media.
They're spoiled brats, making them look bad.
Yeah. So
that's a great
they're
concept.
Fighting their parents all the time.
This one, Chronauts, that I read that came out in 2015. It was
Chrononauts,
Chrononauts. It was like a 5-issue limited series. Great series about.
There's not really much there though. Imran.
No, it's just wacky time travel, and they just fuck things up.
One of my favorite ones is Super Crooks.
Super Crooks. I started reading that. I've read a couple of those. That's really great.
That's such a good read, and it's a really
Which one
short.
Is that one?
Super Crooks.
Super Crooks. It's the first one in this article. Why is it so great, Ruggs? What is it about?
It's just fucking fun to read. It's just really fun. Like I remember being very irreverent. It's about like a heist. It's basically a heist film.
Yep.
And he kind of like goes after like he takes like all these characters that we know like from Marvel and DC and like makes his own version of them, like his own like fucked up version of them.
Yeah.
And then like he kind of like riffs off of shit like that. If you like that character, like Doctor Doom or something, you know.
But he writes like great flawed characters. And
he just riffs on this whole idea.
So in this article, it said Vince Gilligan, Breaking Bad. Someone like him could make a great TV show out of Super Crooks. Because it's a crime heist show.
Yeah, I think he'd be perfect for that.
Anthony, any of these sound interesting to you? If Netflix was to go all in and compete with Disney and their established universe with this Millar comic book Mace universe?
I mean, I'm not that familiar, so it'd be unfair for me to speculate on which one.
It's probably some of the better stuff. Like as a thing, it's like Mark Miller just kind of cranks this shit out.
Yeah,
and. He's clearly not trying to create great comics. He's trying to create what's happening. He's IP.
He's writing for the adaptation.
Yeah, he's writing ideas that people can adapt.
And a lot of these are very cinematically
He doesn't really
written.
spend a lot of time world building and building it out and like taking all these issues.
It's more play the numbers. I'm all the shit out there.
He's just like throwing shit out there.
Yeah,
great idea after great idea, concept after concept. And like hoping that someone picks it up and makes a movie out of it, and they have.
What I would like to see, honestly, and it's because I'm only familiar with it, and I liked I liked it a lot. I'd like to see Kick-Ass translated back onto the small screen.
Oh, as a TV show.
The first Kick-Ass I really enjoyed.
Yeah, and the more continuation.
The second one totally lost the point of what Kick-Ass was, but the first one was, in my opinion.
Was Nick Cage in the second one? I don't remember.
No,
he wasn't.
The first one was directed by Vaughn.
Yes, Matthew Vaughn. Yes.
Matthew Vaughn. And I thought it was awesome.
Movie. Yeah, it's a great movie. I love Kick-Ass, and like an ongoing story of that kid would actually be really cool. I could see that.
And the villains and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So they did Kick-Ass, they did Kingsman, and they did Wanted.
I mean, it's a smart move by Netflix,
but
especially now.
We're in the era now where like Wanted and Kick-Ass and Kingsman. Well, Kingsman maybe not so much because they're still making Kingsman movies, but all this shit could get rebooted right away.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Charlie's Angels is getting rebooted.
Yeah, nobody asked for that.
And like that's the early 2000s that came out.
Yeah.
Or late, maybe even mid to late. Like everything's getting rebooted and put on different mediums now, so it's very possible.
There's other stuff that that is more fantasy oriented. That's not as comic booky. I mean, none of this stuff is really. There's one called Nemesis.
Yeah,
it's about a bad guy. It's like if Batman was a bad guy.
Cool.
It's like an unstoppable bad guy that can just fucking never gets caught.
Wow, that's the main character is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I mean, they're smart, and they're probably going to do the stuff that hasn't been done, like you said, Anthony, like the Wanteds and the Kings. That's done. They're looking at this stuff that's never been adapted, and it's their only thing they're going up against Marvel and Disney.
My quick question is, it says it's Millar World, so obviously he created this, but is this theoretically, could it be all like in the same universe?
To a degree.
To a degree?
I don't think it's as cohesive as like a Marvel Universe.
No. But if someone wanted to make connections, could they put it all in the same stuff?
You could, of course. Like in Kick-Ass, no superheroes exist, but in Jupiter's Legacy they do. So I don't think you can combine those. But I would say Super Crooks you can combine, Nemesis, Wanted, and Jupiter's Legacy. I think you could roll those all together.
They're kind of like all live in like the Kingsman-y world anyways.
Yeah.
You know. Moving on, Fiddlesticks Winterbaum III. Of course, how am I going to do a...
Of course, that's his real name.
Of course, that's his real name. How am I going to pull stuff from the group and not pull something from him? Because he likes to post a lot, and I appreciate it. He wrote, I listened to the latest Jock and Nerd episode, our last episode today, and I agree that Starfire looks awful. There are cosplayers that look better. Submit it for your approval. Imran, it's okay to look. If the wife catches you, tell her it is research for the podcast. So he posted a couple of pictures, and some other people posted some photos. Raymond Liu posted a photo of him with a cosplayer from New York Comic Con 2018. And yes, these suits look comics accurate. They got orange skin, red hair.
Let me comment first.
Yes.
They are comics. I'm not saying because they have to be comics accurate that they have to be better. Like, these are obviously comics accurate, and they're hot girls. Let's be fucking honest. They're hot girls in
scantily clad stuff.
Yeah, that fits their bodies, and they look great.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying she needed to dress like that. I'm just saying the way she looks in that first episode, it's the costume to me is just off. She looks like she's walking around like a cheap prostitute.
But I think that's the point of that character where she is.
But she doesn't need to dress like that. Like, she doesn't need to wear.
I don't think she knows
scantily clad stuff either. She could wear like something else, and it looks better.
Roast beef sandwiches are now hamburgers.
Oh, that's correct.
Anything can be anything in.
A hot dog is still not a sandwich. Here, when I look at these photos, my first question is, geez, what happens when you sit down or bend over? Like, this is not physically possible. Like, it looks great on the page.
We've seen this 1,000 times.
But this wouldn't work in the show that they're doing.
First of all, there's no reason for her not to be orange. All right, that's number one.
Okay.
Like, why can't you be orange?
I guess she could be orange.
Like, she's an alien with orange skin.
Yeah.
But that would take that out of the equation. You got to have a good look, like a good look that kind of sells the character, and they haven't found it yet. I think they're fucking around with different things, and I know that the straight hair and the purple spandex getup is coming. Because I've seen a couple of previews, and I think I even sent them to you, right?
Yeah, it's coming. I mean, their costume's gonna change.
I'm gonna reserve. Those pictures I saw, I wasn't impressed.
I kind of like the orange part came out when she like flared up and lost her powers. She became orange.
What's her name? Starfire.
Starfire. Corey Anders.
But once again, I'm telling you but there's a different Starfire for Teen Titans.
Yeah.
And a different Starfire for the comics. They're two different characters.
There's several different Starfires.
You have like a gigantic Amazon woman that like towers over Robin.
In the comics, yes.
Yes. And then you have like this little pixie girl who's like very like ditzy. So like this is neither of them.
This is now a new Starfire.
Yeah.
So also, Ruggs, remember we reviewed the pilot episode last week and you were like, I want to meet someone who likes this. Listener Tyler Turner posted to the group. I got to say, I'm really digging the first 2 episodes of Titans. It's basically DC's version of one of the Marvel Netflix shows. Plus, Hawk and Dove are so badass.
Yeah, has he ever read Hawk and Dove?
So, okay, here's a couple of things. I get his comparison to the Marvel Netflix, but like it's way more violent than even the fucking Marvel Netflix shows to me. There's more swearing.
Hawk and Dove are superpowered.
Have you watched the second episode? Who's watched the second episode?
I have.
Okay,
I have not.
I have not. Okay, so the episode
you have or you have?
I have. The episode was titled Hawk and Dove. We meet this versions of Hawk and Dove. I am not really that familiar with Hawk and Dove, but Ruggs, you're right. They have powers, and in this episode, it just appears that they're vigilantes in costumes.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. The first time you meet Dove, he is strung up, being tortured by a gang, and
that's Hawk.
Hawk. He's strung up, and this dude's about to cut his penis off.
Oh shit!
With a pair of scissors. This is the first time you see Hawk. Well, I kind of dug that second episode.
Why can't they have superpowered people in a superhero show? So it's like I remember my favorite thing about Hawk and Dove was they would say Hawk, and then he would turn into Hawk, and she would say Dove, and she would turn into Dove, and it was one of those things like Power Rangers.
So they could fly say their name. And shit?
No, like
what were their powers?
Hawk is like the Hulk, and he's got like claws, and he's like Wolverine basically. He's like a Wolverine type dude.
Okay.
And Dove is like can turn your she can turn your momentum against you, so she's completely defensive. She never strikes you.
She just returns your force. Okay.
And there's other things as well. I mean, powers,
these two in the show are badass, but they ain't got no powers. And what'd you think?
Let me just make a quick comment.
Yeah.
Because you said you described the first time we see Hawk as being it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like last week, I don't have a problem with the violence. It's the fact that I feel like through the first episode, at least, and what you described as the second episode, the main selling point for the show is, goddamn, look how violent we are.
You're absolutely right. In fact, Robin, there's a thing where Robin is like, look, they want him to join some mission, and he's like, I've changed. I can't do this. And he shows up, and he's so fucking brutal, and the two of them are like, what the fuck has happened to Dick? Like, he's just violent for no reason, and he's like, I told you. Plus, Dick and Dove had a thing. They have a little relationship, so that's kind of interesting.
Dick and Dove.
Dick and Dove. I forget her name, the character's name, but it's Dick and Dove. New sitcom from DC. I don't know. I enjoy it. Ends, dude. That second episode ends with a crazy ending, and now I'm excited for the next episode that comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, of course.
Another thing,
every Friday.
I got the Wikipedia up for her powers. But Dove has got more powers than Hawk. Hawk is like pretty much just a brawler,
just a brute. Yeah,
yeah. Dove has got she's got the danger sense. All right.
Oh, like Spidey sense.
Okay. Yes. And so she can transform into Dove by saying Dove. All right. And then it wears off like the Hulk. All right. So all right. She what else? She can read people and objects and know how they're going to behave.
Oh.
She can fly.
So she can fly. He can't. Okay.
And she can withstand physical punishment.
I thought she could
heal
fly
quickly. And, she's very perceptive of everything. So she's kind of like tuned into everything. So
this is a different
Hawk
Dove.
is just a more like rage-based version of that. So there you go.
So on the show, these two they're kind of done with the superhero business. They want to pull one last heist and then get out. And of course, things don't go well. And I got to watch the third episode.
I think it's weak sauce that you have a superhero show.
And they don't give them superpowers.
And then you make them all vigilantes.
What the fuck?
Shit.
Yes, you took away superpowers from people who had What are you doing?
I don't know. I mean, Beast Boy's got them.
Yeah, Beast Boy's got powers. Starfire clearly has powers. Raven clearly has powers.
I just got to make the point that every time someone makes a point, Imran agrees.
But I see it's bad.
I like it.
But I'm still going to watch it. I'm still going to enjoy
I'm going to watch it too.
See?
Enjoy, guys.
I'm curious to see.
I'm curious to see
happens.
where me too. That's exactly.
I'm sure they'll get superpowers.
Look,
Maybe not.
This is what's going to happen, Anthony. I'm telling you, make a prediction.
Yeah.
Like, I'm already, this fucking show's on notice already. Right?
Okay, hold on. Let me give you this.
Here's the rundown. Like, this show's on notice. This show's already, like, on fucking dangerous, thin ice. Wow. So, it's going to get into Gotham territory soon.
Yeah.
And once it goes there, I'm like, fuck you, and I'm done with it.
What?
The thing is, it's like the CW shows, I don't really have a huge animosity to.
Yeah.
Because they're procedural. Yeah. So after you've seen enough of the procedure,
they're kind of the same show.
You don't need to watch it anymore. Yeah. It's not like I think that they're terrible. I just think, okay, I've seen like 3 years of this. I know what's going to happen. There's a formula.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put myself through that unless they're doing something really. I'm going to tune in for like the crossover because I want to see how that.
The crossover is going to be great. Arrow's doing something pretty different, kind of.
So it's not like I have an animosity towards that show. Gotham, I fucking loathe. All right, I hate watch that, and that's what I'm starting to do with Titans. I'm hate watching it, but like,
it's a show you love to hate and hate to love.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I just want things to happen.
Yeah.
At least in, Gotham I tolerated because things happened in that show.
Shit's happening. There was no Starfire or Beast Boy in the second episode, so we got a lot of catching up to do, and there's a lot more characters coming. Jason Todd, Doom Patrol. I got to find out what happens. Look, it's not as bad as Powerless.
It's on notice.
You're on notice, Titans. All right, let's move on. Ryan Cortez posted on our regular Facebook page in response to our last episode. If you want more info on Mandalorians, there's a comic book, Jango Fett, open season. It's his entire life and intertwined with Count Dooku when he was a young Jedi too. Have you read this, Ruggs? Do you know about this?
No, I never read this.
It sounds cool.
I mean, I know about Jango Fett. Jango Fett was in if you ever watched the Clone Wars movie. This is Star Wars episode Dose.
Yes.
And you got Jango Fett. You got Count Dooku.
Yeah.
That's when you see fucking Yoda bust out the lightsaber for the first time.
Christopher Plummer.
That's right.
Dude, that Yoda is badass in that one because he's fucking flipping around and doing shit and fighting. I was like, this is a fucking badass Yoda, finally.
That was the only redeeming quality of the fucking George Lucas. When I saw Yoda wield a lightsaber, I was like, holy fuck balls.
That's something you didn't know you wanted to see until they showed it to you. It was like, how have I not seen this? It's fucking badass.
For all the shit that Lucas gets, and he gets a lot wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I was just thinking about those fucking aliens that he had with Asian accents.
Yes.
This dude is fucking so like, I don't get it.
Why would you think that would be okay? And the Jar Jar Binks, like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Anyways, great tip on Mandalorians to enjoy Favreau's upcoming streaming show. Let's move on to one of our most lovely and most badass listeners and patrons, Lisa Morrison. You know her, you love her. She recently broke her arm in 3 places.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Playing the sports.
Oh, good for her.
Right? She's fucking badass, dude.
Sports?
The sports.
The sports. I know she plays fucking co-ed sports. That's fucking hardcore, Lisa Morrison. You're awesome. Anyways, she posted on our Facebook group, I'm stuck on the couch and so bored. Any TV or movie recommendations? Canadian Netflix has pretty crappy content, so I'm limited in what I have access to. What do you guys have? Let's help her out.
On Netflix?
Well, anything. So let's maybe not Netflix, because Canadian Netflix, I don't know what's on there. I put a bunch of things.
That's all I have is Netflix.
And what about like regular TV? Anthony, you got anything?
I don't watch regular
TV. Spot. Just go down the YouTube rabbit hole.
You could do that.
I mean, just watch anything.
Which rabbit hole?
Watch some alt-right.
Watch some alt-right shit. Like I've been doing.
Oh shit!
And you'll just go down the rabbit hole.
It's very entertaining.
No, I don't know if I have something, but I can't.
So
think of
I had suggested a couple of Netflix things, and she was like, "Great suggestions, but some of the stuff isn't available on Netflix. Let me give you some bigger network things. For example." The new season of South Park is fucking hilarious.
It's always good, though.
Holy shit, but they are just killing it. I feel like they've gotten to a point where they're just trying to just get canceled. They're like, let's see what crazy shit we could do, and none of it's going to get canceled.
Well, when I saw the episode where the gyroscope that fucks you up the ass and in the mouth while you drive it, I was like, all right, that's it.
Nope.
That was like 10 years ago.
I know, dude. And this season, they take a dig at The Simpsons for having Apu and not being culturally sensitive. They do a great thing with Mr. Hanky and kind of combine Roseanne and the Kavanaugh hearings, and Mr. Hanky's tweeting shit at night, and he's like, oh man, you ever try Ambien? Man, that fucks you up. And like he's trying to put on a show. They have a running gag where there's school shootings in South Park Elementary every episode, and nobody cares. It's just background. Like, it's become commonplace. I was like, holy fuck, this is ballsy as fuck. It's still great, man. They still bring it. Anthony, you got anything yet?
No. I don't. I don't have any time.
What else you
got?
I got one more. This show called Manifest on
Democracy
NBC.
Manifest?
Not Democracy Manifest.
This is
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
No, if you haven't seen the promos or the commercials for the show, it's kind of interesting. It's kind
like
of
Lost.
It's
2.0.
like Lost. There's a plane that takes off from Jamaica in 2013. You meet a couple of the characters. Some people get bumped. Families get separated. They get on this plane. During the flight, there's severe turbulence, and then everything stabilizes, and they land. And when they land, the fucking feds are there because it turns out this plane has been missing for 5 years. Everybody is presumed dead, and it's now 2018 in real time. And they're like, what the fuck? So in the first episode, you meet these people, and then you start to find out these people are hearing voices. There's a calling that helps them save people or solve crimes that they're hearing in their head. And at the end of the first episode, all of the passengers are compelled to come back to where the plane is. And they're just standing there looking at the plane. They don't know why they came, and the fucking plane just explodes. So there's no more investigating this fucking plane. It's actually pretty good. There's a lot of great things. Like,
I sense aliens are involved.
I don't know what it is. Like, so it's a great mystery.
Or they're all dead, just like in Lost.
Or it's purgatory and they're all dead. Good show,
I got
though.
one.
Check out. Yeah, you got one?
So I'd listen to actually a lot of podcasts when I'm in my car.
What's that?
It's up ours.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't want to relive our own shit.
Thanks for the support.
You know, it's stupid actually to listen to your own podcast. It's really like narcissistic.
I do it.
I do it.
I think it's narcissistic.
All right.
Yeah, anyways,
How are you going to get better, though, if you don't listen to, like, what the shit you're doing?
because I lived it.
I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember what I said.
I lived it. I don't want to. I don't want to repeat my life.
All right. Your
It's
life.
like,
It's
that's
your
like,
life.
You know what that's like, kind
What?
of?
What?
It's like when like that high school quarterback has you come over and he's like, hey, watch my high school highlights.
Or is it like Harrison Ford going, hey, I better watch Indiana Jones to see what I did and what I could fix the next time?
No, I'm not. But he's like, here, watch this with me.
High school highlights is sad, especially when you're like 40 and you're like,
Yeah, right.
hey, look, check out my high
That's
school
what that
highlights.
kind of reminds me of. Anyways, I listen to Bill Simmons' podcast a lot.
Sports guy.
Sports guy, but he also does like pop culture and all that stuff. And he had on this guy named Van Olathan, who works for TMZ.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, who's this guy? And he's basically, he got famous because he's the guy that stood up to Kanye when Kanye was going crazy at TMZ and saying that slavery was a choice. And I went down the rabbit hole of watching Van Lathan and Kanye West exchange with each other.
Yeah, I think I've watched that.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So then went down that rabbit hole, and then I went down the rabbit hole of watching Kanye West in the White
people?
House. In the White House.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So point being, listen to the podcast where Bill Simmons has Van Lathan on. It's
That's
pretty
where
good.
he says-
they talk about Kanye West going crazy.
That's where Kanye said
Sounds like
time is a myth. According to Kanye, that's a Kanyeism.
He's time is a myth. Yes,
that's what he said.
Also, to abolish the 13th Amendment, slavery is apparently a choice. Yeah, I'm like 6 months late on some of this. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess
this is in the daily Kanye newsletter. At this point.
It's pretty interesting. They discuss like Kanye and where he's going wrong, and then they also discuss the debate of who's going to be considered by this generation as the best rapper.
Yeah.
And there's like Jay-Z, or is it like they were talking about Drake and all that stuff? So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, not Drake.
I mean, if you look at numbers, if you look up at number of years for longevity, Drake's up there. Now, he may not have the album where it's like, that's the album that Drake is the man.
But does longevity mean quality? Mean that he's actually good?
I mean, it means that he's been around for 10 years.
Nobody cares about your ghostwriters, Drake. The kids want some real shit.
Just because it wasn't your generation doesn't mean it's the
According
generation.
to Eminem, they don't like it because of the ghostwriting. That's why Eminem doesn't like it. Eminem. on his album calls Drake out for having a ghostwriter like several times.
You can't argue the success, man. Argue with me the success.
But it's not. Well, Cardi B has success. She's fucking greatest rapper. Well, not 10 years. It's all because of Degrassi.
I was going to say that.
Degrassi. It's all because of you, Canada. Fucking just smoke your joint and don't make more Drakes.
Remember, just because it's your generation doesn't mean it was the best.
I'm gonna throw my argument into the thing.
Okay.
When you have such mediocre things to compete with, of course,
of course it's going to rise to the top. Something
that's like okay is going to rise to the top.
You got motherfuckers.
There hasn't been any talented people.
You got motherfuckers with tattoos on their
face. The most popular.
And rainbow hair, and they're mumbling, yeah, Drake's going to be the best on all of those. Of
course.
I would just say, just because it's not your generation doesn't mean it's not good.
I don't like his tone.
No,
so
I like people who are good.
I like
Mike Rips.
I like
but if you listen to the podcast, they both were like Jay-Z's better. They were comparing it to like Jay-Z.
I'd say Nas is the best.
Nas is very good.
I think they were talking more about like not only rap, but like not that. No, but
cultural
like
significance.
Yeah, exactly. Like the impact you have on culture.
Jay-Z has had a huge impact across a lot of industries.
Right.
So, all right, good.
Like
Bill
changing
Simmons.
the game.
I've listened to Bill Simmons' podcast.
I got some.
All right, give us
thingies. All right, so Netflix shows that you probably don't get. So
yes, well,
so for Lisa, sorry, but there's like hundreds of other people that might want.
Some of these may be on there. I don't know.
All right, so I would say Atypical. If you want to watch a show about a dude who has autism, and it's kind of like a Party of Five-ish type thing.
Yeah.
Where like it's a flawed family. It's a little light. It's light, but it's fun, interesting. Kidding with Jim Carrey, I think is amazing.
I watched the first episode and I haven't continued, but it was very interesting.
Amazing.
It's different.
So great. There's this one scene I want to talk about it so bad. I should just give it away.
I gotta watch it.
Oh my God. But like what happens, I was like, thank you, everyone, for making this happen. The new Jack Ryan show on Amazon.
Oh, you watched that? I heard that's
no,
good
I
too.
haven't watched it, but everybody and their mother's like, you have to watch that.
Yeah, everybody said it's good.
I watched The Curious Creations of Christine McConnell.
What is this? I heard it's like a weird cooking show.
It's a baking show.
Yeah.
Where this woman makes these fucking insane works of art, like that look like legit, like
sculptures.
Like sculptures.
But it's edible.
Yeah, but it's like in like a Pee-wee's Playhouse type environment where like there's puppets talking to her.
So it's like an hour-long show?
That sounds like a fucking trip.
That sounds crazy. I gotta check this out.
I think it might be cool to watch if you're fucking stoned on Halloween.
I'm there. Canada, this show is for you.
Right. Also, check out Adam Ruins Everything. That's always good fun. For a little laugh where he throws a bunch of facts. Who knows if they're actually true.
Yeah. He debunks everything.
He debunks everything, but I'm like, he's not really 100% right. Sketch. Like this is a little sketchy. He's like really stretching. I never
noticed that. That's a good point, though.
he's reaching sometimes.
Yeah.
And then there's the for Halloween also the Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, I heard that's really good too.
Yep.
I'm not a big horror guy, so I don't watch that shit.
And one more thing for Halloween.
Yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime, don't be an asshole.
Don't be a dick.
Watch Monster Squad. It is great.
Okay, I'll do that.
Monster Squad. You like Stranger Things?
Yeah.
You like, they really use a lot of 90s language, if you know what I mean. Like people, you might not like some of the language used because it's offensive by today's terms, but it is great. It is a great Halloween movie.
What year was that movie made?
I'm going to say 1986 or 7, 88, something like that.
All good picks.
Late 80s.
If we're talking Netflix, the things I suggested, if you want to laugh, my comedy picks right now are American Vandal.
We already went through your picks.
Seasons. I'm going with more picks.
Oh, my God.
Joe Rogan's new comedy special and the Norm Macdonald show.
Did you see the new Adam Sandler one?
No, I want to watch that too. That's crazy that he's coming back to stand up.
Hopefully it's good.
I got another one. I've been listening to this podcast called History of Stand Up with Wayne Fetterman and this other dude. It's 6 parts. It's really good. And they're talking about how right now is a boom for comedy because of Netflix and comedy specials, but it also may be the bubble getting so big that people are going to be sick of stand-up again. It may be too much because everybody and their mother's getting a Netflix comedy
But they can't say anything, these comedians.
No, that's the thing. Chappelle said shit.
Yeah, but that's Chappelle, and even he's finding it very hard.
Everything else has to be safe.
You ever see him like tapping around some of these things when he's being interviewed?
Yeah. Chris Rock really did it. He was restrained on his latest one, but you're right. They have you got to have different. You got to be funny differently now. I don't know.
You can't just be mean like the Andrew Dice Clay was.
No, can you imagine, dude? Dice is
like, look at this pig in the front row.
Can you imagine Dice
I wouldn't
coming
fuck
out?
you with his dick, like shit like that.
Yes.
Just the fact that he had the fucking, he was so inhuman that he could act like that.
Can you imagine if Dice tried to do his act for the first time today?
No.
With Michael Richards the shit out of him right away.
Did you remember the fucking Sam Kinison?
Yeah.
Talking about go to where the food is. Why are people starving? It's fucking sad. Nothing grows there. Go to where the food is. You know what? You will eat.
Dude, Sam Kinison is amazing. And Rogan in his new special in the beginning, he's like yelling a lot, but it reminds me of Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
Where he's yelling truths at you, and it's so good. Okay, last thing from the nation here. Michael Pagan, a new guy posting. We've not heard from you, Michael. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's a paganist.
He does not believe in regular. He's not an atheist. He's a pagan.
He's a pagan.
He's a pagan. He believes in multiple gods. He said Black Mirror is awesome.
Black Mirror.
Let me start out. Black Mirror is awesome. One of my favorite shows. I'm stoked that it's coming back. If you want to get Anthony interested in it, he should try Nosedive.
Yeah, that's a fucked up episode.
It's about a society where all that matters is your social media ranking. My other favorite episodes are White Christmas, Men Against Fire, Metalhead. All great episodes.
Metalhead is great.
Metalhead has like crazy robot dogs. Nosedive features Bryce Dallas Howard, Anthony. And imagine a world where you meet someone on the street and you have to be fake nice to them so they can give you good credit stars on your app.
It's happening with Uber. Right?
It's happening with Uber, and it's actually happening in China right now.
Oh, shit.
But isn't that all service industry?
What?
Fake nice.
Technically, yes, but...
So, I mean, this isn't a new thing.
No, but...
You always had to be
in
fake
the
nice.
show, they've extended this to physical IRL interactions, where the thing floats right on your face.
Your friends can rank you for being a dickhead.
If you don't hold the door open for someone, they could turn around and mark you down, and then in the show...
As they should.
As they should in the show, which is what's happening in China.
I would be put to death immediately.
Dude, China, this social credit system, if you don't have good social credit, you can't get an apartment in the nice places. You can't get the nice jobs. You can't go shopping in the nice places.
That's the Orient.
People, no, they're rolling this out by 2020. Dude, there's some crazy shit in China. They can ban you from flying, getting on a train. They'll throttle your internet speeds. There's a thing where if you jaywalk, this camera takes your picture, puts it up on this LED board on the sidewalk, and says, "Jaywalker."
Fuck this guy.
Shames you. Yes, it's crazy.
You should be publicly shamed.
Imagine your kids.
You should be put to death.
Should we be
I would
stoned?
last maybe like 13 seconds in this world because I'm basically George Costanza.
You can't book the good hotels. Your kids can't go to the good schools, all because
you can't take the book into the bathroom.
And you can't take it's flagged. You can't return that book. I flagged that book.
If you shame the family, that it ruins everything.
Well, in China it does.
Yes, that's the way it should
all
be.
Over.
You can't look at a girl's boobs. Like I'm thinking all Seinfeld things that happen.
Yes. They're real and they're spectacular. Okay, masturbate when you're in a contest. But dude, that's why Black Mirror is so amazing, because that nosedive thing, you think about like all the shit, you can't be real.
Yeah.
And when you're real, your social credit takes a nosedive.
Do you remember laughter?
No, what's that?
I don't know.
I'll put a link about this China social credit from Business Insider in the show notes. Check it out, listener. It's fucking creepy. Anthony, it's time for a Felty League update.
Here's the National Felty League update.
Pull that shit up.
I just went right up Anthony's asshole. That's what that sounded.
All right. While you're pulling that up.
I got it.
Okay, go.
In first place this week is still on the Marvel division. The Felty Falcons and OJ's Parole Board are tied at 6-1. In the DC division, Game of Thrones by Matthew Lawrence are 5-2. I lost again last week. I'm 1-6 and not giving a fuck. I'll give shout outs to OJ's Parole Board, Chaz Hubbard, with most points this week, 109.
Whoa.
So that's all I'm going to say about that league.
Okie dokie. So Matt J. Miller sent us a voicemail.
Matty J.
Yeah, where's he in the standings?
Oh yeah, let me you know what? Because he sent something in, I should say something about him.
Well, he has a message for you about the Felty League, Anthony.
Okay. Let me say this about Matthew Miller.
Yeah.
Matthew Miller.
Yeah.
He is 5th in the DC division at 3-4, so not doing all that great.
He's 3-4, and what's your record?
1-6.
Okay, he's 3-4.
Have you heard this message, Anthony?
I have not.
All right.
Could you predict what he said?
Oh, this is good.
Ooh. I know that he's going to give us movie reviews on things that we probably didn't review.
Correct.
Okay. What else did he do?
And then he will probably ask a question.
Okay.
And also, I've always wondered when Matt Miller records these speak pipes. For some reason,
that's what you're thinking
What's
about?
up, Jock and Nerd Nation? Matthew James back again. It is currently 2:49 in the Central Time Zone.
Oh.
Just got out of Bad Times at the El Royale. Holy crap. This movie was pretty freaking awesome. Not a lot of press going into this movie. Great cast. The plot armor very thin for all of the characters involved. You don't know who's going to get it or where it's coming from. But I was on the edge of my seat. Awesome movie. Very, very, very cool. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. Also recently watched 1922 on Netflix featuring Thomas Jane. He plays a farmer from Nebraska, kills his wife, trying to keep his land intact, and apparently goes crazy from there with his own grief and guilt. It's based on the novella by Stephen King, so you know this movie is going to be pretty dark. I like the movie a lot. Check it out if you have time and have Netflix as well, or any kind of internet connection. Last but not least, just wanted to apologize to my main man, Anthony, the jock sniffer himself, for beating him in fantasy football last week. I had to do it. The Central City speech just had to run all over you, bro. I'm sorry. I propose that if his team does not finish at or above 500 for the year, that he should have to sniff a jockstrap worn by Emron for officially 1 day, since Emron doesn't have a problem wearing shoes with no socks. I think he'll be down for it. All right, guys, keep it up. Love the show. See ya.
I don't know what the socks thing has to do with anything.
I had to laugh at the shoes with no socks just because
he got you.
No, he didn't get me. No, but that's a deep cut right there.
It's a deep cut. About that I love it.
Very briefly.
I'm never gonna live that down.
No, I'm not sniffing Imran's fucking. No, absolutely not.
I don't think I've ever worn a jockstrap. To tell you the truth.
I don't believe you ever would have had the opportunity.
No, well, freshman year in high school, I did try to be on the wrestling team.
And then they realized that there was no WWF moves.
Yeah, and then I just left
immediately. Yeah.
I was actually didn't
we
quit.
We don't do suplexes in here.
But I don't remember. I remember running around in a garbage bag. I don't remember wearing a jockstrap for that. I'm sure I did, but I can't remember.
You want to know what the best thing about Gold Bond up your ass?
What's the best thing?
It's like when you blow a fart, it looks like
and it pops back out.
No, when you
puff of smoke.
Yeah, a puff of smoke comes out of your ass. You're like Godzilla.
Yeah, no, that is fun.
That
is that's not even when you throw it up the asshole. That's like you just get the general area.
Yeah,
and I would love to do that in a Target and walk
you can
by.
feel it too.
Yeah.
It's like a little gust.
And then to make antique farts.
And then it smells like Gold Bond. It doesn't smell bad. You're like,
it's like a weird. No, it's a weird mix. It's like Gold Bond freshness.
Like
with fart.
Imran on the graphic for the show. You have to have a Gold Bond in there.
I'll put a little Gold Bond in the corner.
I'll only say this for Matty Miller. I appreciate the suggestion, but no, I'm not willingly subjecting myself to Imran's
this. Maybe a different bet for 500 at the end of the season.
I guess I should be trying more, but
whatever. I don't want you to win. It's not fair to the others.
It's not fair because if I tried,
I kind of feel bad that you got beat by Matty J now.
Well, it's not fair because if I tried, I'd win.
Like he's emasculated you to a degree.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But there's no money involved, so if I'm a cheap horse,
and I'm not giving you another T-shirt.
Yeah, I don't want to win a T-shirt. Give me a sticker.
I'll give you a sticker. Finally, we have an iTunes review from iTunes Australia from our buddy Wes Cranford. Yank from Down Under finally left us a review. Subject, my news, reviews, and whatever I choose. He writes, I love these guys. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and this is the only one that consistently makes me laugh out loud. They mostly talk about comic book shows and movies, but they do other stuff as well. It's the chemistry between the three that really works. I like it so much, I donate money to these clowns. Go figure. Give it a go. You won't be disappointed.
Talking nerd.
Wes, thank you so much.
He had never written a review?
No, this whole time.
Wowzers.
There's a bunch of you, listener, that haven't written a review. JockandNerd.com/review. Go there now. Click the link. Leave us a review.
Let me make a quick comment because the show is about to end and it's before Halloween.
Yes. This is Halloween.
I just have to say that I love Halloween.
You do?
Yeah.
Favorite costume you ever had?
I've worn this frog costume that I've had for maybe 6 years now.
Really?
That's
You're just
great.
always a frog.
It doesn't get
always
old?
a prince frog.
Oh, Prince Frog.
And if you kiss me, I turn into a prince.
Is that the one with the big frog head and your face comes out of it?
Yeah, my face sticking out of it. But it's just I just love Halloween. I like the girls.
Halloween is
It's
fun.
the greatest holiday. The girls can dress up so scantily clad,
the
and it's
slutty
so okay.
Halloween costumes are totally acceptable. Chocolate
It's so,
is cheap.
like it's the only time adults can act like kids.
Ruggs, do you have a favorite Halloween costume you've had?
I have every kind of costume.
I've heard the Halloween movie is actually pretty good too.
It made $76 million opening
Yeah.
night, almost beating Venom. October has been huge at the box office this year.
Who doesn't like Halloween? You got great movies.
Yeah.
You got a whole thing. You know, it's
It's
a
a
whole
whole much
fucking
around
thing.
it.
Do you guys have places where like people go all out? Like in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
you got to look this up. You can Google this right now.
Yeah.
Called Diker Frights.
Am I going to pull up what I want to pull up?
Diker? How do you spell that?
Dyker Frights.
Okay, Frights.
Oh, okay.
Basically, this dude he hires actors and shit and builds like installations on his front
Scariest
lawn.
house in southern Brooklyn.
Yeah. And so it's like a huge deal out here in the
Dude, I
city.
love really well done haunted houses. Like I could totally appreciate that. Those are always fun.
So people do go all out in the New York area.
Meanwhile, nobody's watching fucking Walking Dead. It's still pulling in like low numbers, and 2 episodes left before Rick gets killed or leaves. I don't know what they're gonna do, but nobody's fucking watching. Nobody cares. It's great.
Halloween's great, man.
Halloween is
You got
great.
the candy, you got the costumes, you got like all the movies, the parties.
My favorite
It's
thing,
great for children.
the last few years, me and my wife and Joplin, our dog, we would have theme costumes for these like doggy costume parties.
Hey,
So-
you got like a house now, Imran.
I know. I'm gonna have to buy candy. There's gonna be kids coming by. I'm gonna keep the lights on.
You're definitely gonna have kids.
I'm gonna give you advice.
Okay.
What do you do? You and your wife and your dogs, you all put on some costumes.
Yeah.
Then just get fucked up and give kids and sit out on your porch the whole night and just get fucked up and
I
give
was
kids
thinking
candy.
about it may be fun to do that.
And
I would eat most of the candy before the
play
kids
some
show.
scary ass music.
Yeah.
And just fucking enjoy the night. Walk at the
Speaking
kids.
of scary ass music, here's a great segue to I want you guys to tell you I did a guest appearance on another great show called Two Peas on a Podcast. I was on it previously doing top 5 90s grunge songs. This time, Gerald has me and this guy Peter from Podstalgic. We are doing top 5 songs for Halloween time. I'll put a link in the show notes, and the guy does a really great job of editing the show. It sounds great. He cuts the music in post that we talk about, so you get a feel for the music. And if you want a Halloween playlist, we suggest like 15 and some honorable mentions, like 20 great songs for Halloween. Check it out. Two Peas on a Podcast. I'll put a link in the show notes. My favorite costume was I was Batman. My wife was Wonder Woman. And Joplin, my dog, Golden Retriever, was also Wonder Woman. That was a fun year. That was it. That was the year I went CrossFit in my Batman Halloween costume, too.
That's a thing. Yeah, people do work out in their
I
costume.
totally have a photo of me like jumping rope as Batman in the gym, in the box.
Which Batman?
That's cool.
It was a gray Batman. I can't remember which one it was. It was, but there was no. It was gray with just a black bat on. It was like half the top with the fake muscles. It's pretty funny. That's
favorite
Halloween movie.
Let's go favorite scary movie.
Scary movie.
See, I'm not much of a horror guy.
I mean, I like the original Halloween and the original.
I love Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th.
I like all of those, huh?
Yeah. Exorcist is scary. I don't
love
like watching
Exorcist.
that. I don't like watching that one. I don't know. I think the scariest movie. I don't know.
I mean, it's like
what do you got there, Anthony?
You know, there's nothing better than watching a scary movie in front of a packed theater.
Yeah,
right.
with the jump scares.
That's into it.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Friday the 13th, which the remake.
Yeah.
And I just remember the right in the beginning, or right in the like one of the moments, like the body gets thrown on a fucking
everybody's screaming.
car.
Yeah,
and not only is it fun to watch a movie with a packed theater, a scary movie with a packed theater, but it's also fun watching it with a packed theater full of black people because their reactions are so fucking good. The guy was like,
"That's fun."
Oh shit, motherfucker! And just like gets the fuck, like literally gets up out of his chair and just walks out in the middle of the fucking movie. I mean, like, not so Friday the 13th. No, that's not a great movie, but that was fun. My first movie that I thought of that I really liked. I liked the original Halloween, but the first Paranormal Activity, watching that in a fucking packed theater was awesome.
I heard those are good.
Oh,
I heard
Blair Witch Project was one of those that when I
heard
watched.
The Conjuring is also pretty good.
The Conjuring movies are pretty good. The Babadook is okay.
Listen, I've told this story before. Nothing can top this traumatizing experience of my cousins taking me to see the Poltergeist in the theater when I was 6 fucking years old.
Yeah, that's too young.
You do not take a 6-year-old to see this movie because I will never forget those scenes in that movie. It scared the crap out of me, and I think they got in trouble later. So,
oh man, Paranormal Activity. I just remember watching
I like fun, lighthearted Halloween movies. That's why I like the Monster Squad a lot.
Yeah,
I like.
You're gonna watch The Crow, of course, right?
Yeah, I love The Crow. Probably watch The Crow again.
Do you like the fun, lighthearted stuff?
Well, I like Monster Squad. There's a couple of other ones. Like
I like
Ghostbusters,
Rob Zombie's. Some of Rob Zombie's movies too.
I think those are too fucked up. I hate
like
those. Are fucking disturbing.
Monster Squad. What else is good?
Ghostbusters is a great one.
There's
Does that call it horror though?
I mean, it's more.
Not
It's
horror,
like a
but
Halloween.
It's got ghosts in it.
Yeah,
Stuff. It's Halloween.
Busted.
Halloween. Yeah.
Just like shit like that.
I dressed up as a Ghostbuster for like 4 years in a row, and I made my own fucking suit.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that counts as a Christmas and a Halloween movie, technically. We talk about all this on this the 2Ps episode. It's great. Go check it out.
One more question.
Yeah.
Favorite Halloween killer or horror?
Favorite slasher dude?
Not even slasher. It could be like Pinhead, who's not a slasher.
Favorite horror icon.
I mean, who do you got between Mike Myers and Jason? Like, who wins that one? Jason's been in space.
I feel like Mike Myers is scarier.
Listen, I'll always go Freddy because he'll get you in your sleep, dreams, motherfucker. Yeah. That's hard. How do you? Because think about that. How do you run from that? You have to sleep eventually, right? And then you're fucked. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. You can't stop
I've always been partial to Mike Myers. I think he's scary as fuck.
Right.
I heard in this Halloween, they kind of like give you too much information about him and like maybe it demystifies the scariness a little.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Could be. You know?
I remember seeing that. I just remember people were like, well, this is pretty good.
Well, look, listener, enjoy your Halloween in the U.S., around the world. It's a worldwide thing, right? It's not just like an It's an American thing.
It comes from Gaelic culture.
It
comes from gay culture. I mean, Gaelic culture.
Thank God for those pagans.
Only if you lick them.
Halloween gave us the pagan. The pagans gave us the Halloween. Thank God for the pagans. Where we wouldn't have Halloween. Yeah. It's a
Michael
good time.
Pagan, thank you.
Michael Pagan, thank you for Halloween. Thank you for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the jock.
He's the nerd.
We'll catch you next time.
Hey, Imran.
Yes.
What does a ghost say when he's taking a shit?
What?
Bukaki!
That's a great dad joke. It's not really a dad joke.